Hello, everybody. It's Jazzy of Video Store Sasquatch here, and we are doing another Monday morning review. I went and saw Flight Risk, directed by Mel Gibson, starring Michelle Dockery as Madeline, Mark Wahlberg as Daryl, and Topher Grace as Winston. Um, a pilot transports an air marshal accompanying a fugitive to trial. As they cross the Alaskan wilderness, tensions soar and trust is tested, as not everyone on board is who they seem. This movie doesn't have to be like really, really good to outshine just months of overseeing this trailer and seeing what it was going to be. And unfortunately, it was just kind of like an average movie. And with like the trailer and stuff, it kind of makes it a little bit more boring than it was. When you really think about it. Um, they did have a couple of surprises, which was good. A couple little things and little turns and twists. The ending is kind of lame, to be honest with you. And some of the problem with a lot of it is Michelle Dockery and her delivery of dialogue and the way she like delivers the end, even like her last line, everything like seems like if she's a professional speaker, like a news reporter. So when she like even shows emotion, it's not very good emotion, and it kind of like ruins everything. So like it makes it just it takes you out of it every time she talks, and she's not a very good actress. I mean, we have three people here, and Mark Wahlberg, Topher Grace, Michelle Dockery. Wahlberg could pretty much do whatever he wants to do with just charisma alone. Topher Grace actually isn't that terrible of an actor. So when you get him into like a group, like a three-person setting like this, he's gonna outshine everybody, especially with the two are Mark Wahlberg and this Michelle Dockery, which is exactly what happens here. But I mean, I don't really go after actresses and actors for that, but I just had to be honest with you. Is like we could have got a better, probably female lead, and it probably would have carried the movie better. It was interesting the way they went with a couple of the things, um, like how they had the guy that kind of was the onboard pilot that calls in, kind of flirt with her to get her off everything. A lot of interesting like ways that they did this movie. It wasn't terrible, wasn't good. It was just average. It's a very average movie. I gave it overall a C. And honestly, with the way this year's kind of started movie wise, it's not really that bad to actually just go and see kind of like an hour and a half average movie where you're not like forced to sit here and think about stuff. You're not forced to like sit through like really long diatribes of dialogue on some of these movies like Nosferatu and the movie we saw last week or Den of Thieves. Right, it really just a lot of dialogue, a lot of stuff. But it's just the way it is. We at least just stayed in America here. We got into Alaska. There was a lot of cool like visual stuff, a lot of weird visual stuff too. Like it's like they took all the money and like we're gonna put all the money in just this part of the plane, and you guys be in this plane. And when we take these outside shots of this plane and the outside shots of runways, where it's going to be very cheap looking and almost like cartoonish looking in some of the shots when you look at when they pull up, which is interesting. This I think was obviously isn't Mel Gibson's directorial debut because he's directed a couple movies now, but I mean you can tell his style here. Um, yeah, I mean really, Marky Mark took an interesting, bold choice with his role here. I'm not gonna sit here and hate on it, but it's definitely bold. It's definitely out of all the Marky Mark roles that you see him in, which is good. I kind of feel like Mel Gibson has a little something to do with that to get in his ear and kind of make him look a little bit more crazy, or let's knock off that craziness. An interesting soundtrack too. There's only like two or three songs that play throughout it, and they're all kind of brought in by Marky Mark. So it is interesting. There is interesting stuff. Like they do a couple interesting things to like keep your focus and take away from the stuff that you saw in the trailer, because the trailer's just. No one's gonna deny that the trailer just gave away too much of this movie. Like, there's so much of this movie they could have held, and then on top of it, it was supposed to come out in September and end up coming out in January. So not only do we get this like trailer that's constantly playing through all the movies that we're watching, that we're seeing with this, and we're kind of getting what the story is of this movie, but it got delayed. I think that hurt it. I think that if it would have come out in September, you probably would have had a better shot of landing like a better grade. a better attendance maybe. But I mean, remember from September last year till about mid-December, it was a hard run of movies that would have came out to where like this movie would have been at. Because this movie, at most, was ever going to make $20 million at the box office the first weekend. You know what I mean? And it would have trickle affected it in and probably came around 55 million at most. Maybe by the luck of everything, if everything would have went right, 75, 80 million. I'm sure that this movie wasn't that expensive to make just because of the fact that they would have got if you watch it, like the part of it is like it's in a plane on a green screen. So, and they don't even really have to show the green screen or anything. They just have to show the plane from the one side because you're not going to see the back end of everything. So that's kind of like a real cheap set there. So I imagine that it was a real good cheap movie that they're going to make. That they knew that no matter kind of where they slated it at in these next couple of months, it was going to at least make whatever money that they put into it back, probably a little bit more with everything. Like, there's so many like weird account stuff like this, like, especially when you like talk about like the advertising and stuff like that. They're always going to tell you it's double what the budget is. I highly doubt that this movie had double the budget of advertising in it, but you never know because it might have more advertising than you think because it was supposed to come out in September, so it's been constantly ran, constantly thought of, constantly printed out and stuff like that since at least June or July or even May of last year. So the anticipation of this movie kind of hurt it. But this I think this movie is always just gonna be an average movie, and ain't nothing wrong with it. I would wait. I honestly would wait until streaming services. I think this movie would be better off if it would have went to streaming service only. And that's another thing I was going to talk about is if it goes once it goes to streaming services because it's at Lionsgate or whatever, it'll probably hit Amazon and it'll probably make just a double of what it would have made on the weekend, like this weekend anyway. We'll see what it made on Thursday, but I'm sure it wasn't more than $20 million, and that's I think that's a fair guess here. So that's where we're at here. Yeah, I mean, I definitely check it out. I'd wait until the streaming services. I'd kind of wait because these next couple of weeks there are some little movies that might be big. So just I'd keep your ear to the ground and hear what you're hearing about these movies because February does look like it could have like two or three sneaker movies that are gonna be really good for the whole year. So this was Flight Risk, directed by Mel Gibson. Definitely worth a watch. Definitely, it's only an hour and a half too, so it's gonna be perfect when it's in streaming because you're just gonna go right through this movie, and those are the best hour and a half movies ever. So, wait for it to hit on Amazon or Netflix or whatever it's gonna be on. Watch it then. Thank you guys very much for watching this. Please like, subscribe. Let me know, guys, what you thought about the movie if you did see it in the comment section below. And please have a good rest of your day or night, guys. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment your top movie picks for Throwback Thursday in the comment section. And see you next time in the cave.